Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are reviewing this. This is the FoxArmy FXA10 red dot. This thing only cost $100. Let's see if she performs. Welcome back to Sawteeth Tactical. Today we're reviewing this. This is the FoxArmy FXA10 pistol red dot. Now this is a 3 MOA dot, shake awake pistol red dot, takes the RMR footprint. And you guys might know from when I started my channel, I was all about reviewing affordable firearms and accessories that were actually worth getting. High value stuff. Well, as my firearms addiction has progressed, I've gotten into more higher end things. I think that's kind of the natural evolution of any hobby that you're into, any lifestyle. And but you know what? A lot of people are just getting into this. A lot of people only have a certain budget and they want to know if more affordable items are worth getting. And sometimes they are. So Holosun is a great example. Holosun is the original budget red dot, right? You had the Trigicon RMR. Holosun came out at a significantly lower price point. And Holosun now is one of the market leaders, especially for pistol red dots. Holosun. This pistol, this PSA dagger, my Gucci Glock on a budget build, if you remember that series, it had a Holosun red dot on it. Well, this pistol has turned into a great platform for testing these budget red dots because I've had a number of them sent to me for review. And I want to let you guys know if any of them are worth getting or not. So make sure you're subscribed. And we're going to talk about the FoxArmy FXA10. So I think I wasn't very well zeroed there in that first clip. Let's see if we do any better. Okay, that's a little better. So this is the thing. I'm a member of a lot of firearms groups on Facebook. One of my very favorite ones is Meal Team 6. Shout out if you guys are watching this. This is not the kind of stuff that they're into on Meal Team 6. This is. But I'm also a member of a PSA dagger group. And I noticed that a lot of guys that get PSA daggers are looking for budget red dots. There's a lot of Sealy dots on there. I just noticed a lot of companies I've never even heard of. The point being that a lot of people aren't looking to spend $450 for a red dot on a pistol that only costs $300. Now this pistol is more than $300 the way it's set up. I mean, it's got a Timney trigger, light, the whole deal. But the point being, budget pistol, budget red dot, right? So is this red dot worth getting? Well, let me tell you about the features of it real quick. So it's got a 3 MOA dot, which a 3 MOA dot I actually think is a great size for your reticle. A lot of red dots are 2 MOA, and 2 MOA is very precise. But one thing that I've really found, so the 407K that I have here on my M&P has a 6 MOA dot. And I really like the bigger dot for up close and personal kind of engagements. You can acquire a sight picture very quickly with it. And so a 3 MOA dot is kind of right there between 2 and 6 MOA. It's a very nice size red dot where you could put it at a brightness setting where it doesn't get all bloomed out, but it's still very easy to see. So I do think that they made a great decision right there just on the size of the dot itself. Now, this pistol red dot, the FXA10 from FoxArmy, has all the features that you really look for in a pistol red dot these days. It has shake awake, which to me, necessary. I think if you're going to have a pistol red dot, especially on a defensive pistol, something that you might use to protect yourself and your family, something that you don't have to worry about turning it on before using it is very important to me. You want to be able to grab your gun and have that thing on. So that's what Shake Awake does. It is on as soon as you touch it. As soon as it senses any kind of movement or vibration, the thing turns on. After a little bit of time, it turns back off to save battery life. Speaking of battery life, 50,000 hours. That's kind of the standard these days. It runs on a single 1632 battery, and it has a top-mounted battery tray, so you don't have to remove it to replace the battery, remount it, re-Loctite, re-zero like you do with the Trijicon RMR. I appreciate that. So this, if you might remember, is the Gucci Glock on a budget build. It's a PSA dagger that I built out. Kind of a perfect platform to test kind of a budget optic. Budget pistol, but it's a good pistol. We're going to continue to see how she performs. It is an open emitter red dot, which I have absolutely no problem with. You guys might remember a video I did a little while back, open emitter versus closed emitter red dots. I had a Sealy Bear mounted on here that, again, they sent me to review. Another budget red dot, but it was a closed emitter dot. And while I kind of torture tested it, I dropped it a bunch of times on the dot itself. It held zero, kept working just fine. One thing I noticed about the closed emitter style dot, the big mailbox optic, besides to me kind of looking ridiculous on your pistol slide, is that it felt like you were looking through a small square tube. It wasn't quite as easy to acquire a sight picture, find your dot. That is not an issue with this optic. The window is nice and big. Let's see if we can get where you can see the reticle. There we go. Nice big window. Kind of reminds me of one of the Vortex red dots. Can't remember exactly what model it is. But it is a nice big window. It's nice and clear. There's not like a ridiculous blue tint or anything. Of course, any reflex sight, the way the technology works, you're gonna have to have some kind of reflective coating on there because that's how the reticle reflects back at you. But I don't notice it as anything that looks, discolors what I'm looking at or anything. It has a fantastic sight picture. Nice big window. You can see the dot very clearly. It presents and the dot falls right into the middle of your viewing window every single time, exactly like it's supposed to. So I kind of just rough zeroed this before we came out here, and I could tell it's rough, but we're hitting the target most of the time. Or not. Some of the things that I really like about this red dot, it does mount on the RMR footprint. RMR footprint is number one in my opinion. And it makes it really easy for me to review red dots if they mount to the RMR footprint because I have pistols that have the RMR cut. So good on you for using the RMR footprint, FoxArmy, instead of some weird thing that nobody has. Very smart. That's kind of industry standard at this point, RMR footprint. At least it is for me. I like it. Am I worried about it not being an enclosed emitter? Not so much. I just did a video about that. There's pros and cons to each, but to me, the cons outweigh the pros almost with a lot of closed emitter dots. Yeah, there's the possibility that your emitter could get blocked by some form of debris or snow, dirt, water, whatever. And maybe, and then you wouldn't have a reticle. But to me, for 99.9% of the shooting that you're going to be doing, I would rather have the bigger, clear window and be able to see a better, quicker sight picture and possibly have to worry about something blocking my emitter. Now, I know there are closed emitter dots where you do have that nice big window. The Holosun EPS series 509T come to mind. But a lot of them kind of are like those big mailboxes with a small window. I'm not a big fan of that. So I've got no problem with the open emitter of it. It's got 7 brightness settings, 5 daylight or daytime, and 2 night vision settings. Very cool. I don't know how many people that have, $10,000 in nods are going to be running a $100 optic, but it's cool that they've got night vision settings. I'm cool with that. One funny thing about it, so you have your up and down, for your brightness settings here. Normally I would think that the up would be forward and the down would be back, at least on most of the dots that I've used, if they're not like on top of each other. But it's the opposite on this one. You turn it up with the back one, down with that one. But they are nice positive clicks. Works well. Same thing with the windage and elevation knobs. And it comes with a nice little tool for adjusting your window and windage and elevation. In fact, it comes with all kinds of good stuff, which I'll show you in just a second when we go up close. So check it out. As far as aesthetics go, I think it's fairly attractive. I like the form factor of it. Again, like I said, nice big clear window. I like the 3 MOA dot size. It is parallax free, like every red dot should be. And one little bit of an issue. So the base of it is kind of thick. These are lower 1/3 co-witness iron sights. And through like a Holosun 407, 507C series, or like a Trijicon RMR, something like that, you can co-witness your red dots through the optic. You cannot with this optic. Now, you can get very close to it, and so if you could see where your front sight is, like you could still basically use them, but not really. They're just not quite tall enough with this. Now, you can get true suppressor height sights, and then you'd be able to co-witness, but again, that was slightly disappointing. It's just thicker than I would have liked for using sights that are already taller than standard iron sights. But one thing that's cool, so you do get a lot of value here. So it does come with a protective cover. Very nice. You also get, so it comes in like a nice little case here, locks shut, comes open, and they give you everything that you need. So you got different kinds of screws. Honestly, I have no idea what you'd use these for. They're not long enough to go through there. Kind of weird. But anyway, it does come with a lot of different screws. This is the tool I was talking about for adjusting your windage and elevation. I like that they include that. There also is this wrench for mounting it, although whatever kind of steel it's made out of is not very strong stuff. I twisted the hell out of it just trying to torque it down. But it is nice that it comes with everything. It comes with a Picatinny mount in case you want to mount it on like a rifle. Very cool. Maybe I'll try running it as a backup, canted offset dot on my LPVO gun. More screws. They do have Loctite already on them. I think that's awesome. So it does kind of come with everything you need, which is pretty sweet. And again, like I said, nice clear window. Very nice dot, crisp and clear. 3 MOA is a great size dot in my opinion. So I might not be shooting very well today. Maybe my red dot isn't zeroed perfectly, but gotta count my blessings. It is beautiful out here. End of October, and it is 70 degrees and sunny. I cannot complain one bit. Having trouble finding my zero though. So I haven't done like some crazy torture test on this thing. I haven't frozen it, covered it in mud, dropped it from shoulder height 20 times, burned it down with 10,000 rounds. But I did take it out and shoot 100 rounds through this gun with this dot on it. I didn't get a perfect zero before I went out to the range. I put a laser bore sighter in here at home and sighted it down my longest hallway at home to get it close, which honestly, for a lot of like reviews of things, if I don't have time to go out there and sight in, that usually gets me pretty right on. I didn't shoot great when I took this out to the range, but I'm not blaming the red dot on that. I'm blaming myself. I think I've gotten spoiled lately. I'm just getting used to shooting nicer stuff. And the Springfield Prodigy, the 2011, especially with all the upgrades I have in it, I haven't been shooting this gun very well the last couple times I've taken it out because I think I'm so used to that trigger, so used to that recoil impulse. It's just spoiled me, and that is a problem with me and my training and my shooting, not with the red dot. Now, here's my other thing is, not that I'm becoming a snob, but I am liking nicer, more expensive gear these days. Is this something that I would have purchased myself for a defensive gun? Maybe not. I don't know. But if you're just getting into firearms and you want to try out a red dot, $100 is an easy price point to get into the red dot game. And this thing does work just fine. It held the zero that I had it, it held just fine through 100 rounds so far, and I'm going to continue to test it. And if it does have any issues, I will let you guys know. But so far, so good. And I'm going to keep it on this gun for a while, and I'm going to keep shooting it, especially because I feel like I need more practice with this gun anyway. I was a little bit disappointed in my own shooting performance at the range with this. But again, like I said, that is on me, not on the red dot. As far as the thing working, it works great. Is it as rugged and beefy as some other dots? No, like this isn't the most thickest, gnarliest, hood over the frame of it. But neither are a lot of other way more expensive dots in the market. And unless you're like beating it up, racking it off the dot, which I do that with my red dots, I don't think you're going to have to worry about that. Even dropping it, probably fine. But, it might not take as much of a beating as a Trijicon RMR. But, again, it's going to be a fourth the price or even less than that. So, honestly, if you want to get into red dots, I think it's a fantastic value. $100, like, when I was first looking to getting into my first pistol red dot, if I'd been able to find one that I knew worked for $100, dude, I would have gone for it. Maybe we'll just mag up the rest of these rounds and see how many hits we get. Not many. The other thing I think it would be great for is just, range guns. Guns like this, I've got pistols that I prefer. This is a good gun for testing things out. And a dot like this goes great on something like a PSA dagger. So if you're building out a budget gun, you want a budget red dot, the thing does work and it works just fine. It does everything that a pistol red dot is supposed to do. And so, yeah, I think, is it worth it for the money? Absolutely. Is it the most, battle-tested thing in the world? Absolutely not. I had not heard of FoxArmy before they sent this to me. And they did send this to me for free, but they didn't tell me that I had to do anything for the video. They just wanted me to make a video about it. And so I did. And, it works. It works. And that's kind of the whole point. And it's a red dot. And I think a red dot is better than iron sights. I love shooting pistol red dots, especially at farther distances. It's a lot more just precise and accurate. Put that pistol on your target, and as long as you have a good trigger press and you don't, pull your gun, you're going to hit the target. And that's the beauty of a red dot. Besides that, for close-up engagement, it's much faster to get a sight picture. Your target focused. You don't have to line up a front and a rear sight. You guys know, if you follow my channel, I am all about optics. Pistol optics, rifle optics. I like optics. Do I have a problem shooting with iron sights? Absolutely not. But the future is now, old man, and it's here. And if you can get a red dot on your pistol for $100, if the price is what was holding you back from mounting a red dot on your pistol, go for it. $100. You can get this pistol red dot. You'll be stoked. And you know what? The red dot addiction will bite you, and you will get more of them. That's how this works. I started off my firearm addiction with like a Ruger pistol, Smith & Wesson M&P 15 rifle. I got a PSA after that. I had a Taurus at one point, and now I'm building rifles that are multi-thousands of dollars with EOTech Unity setups on them. That's kind of the way this works, but this is a great way to get into it. If you just got a PSA dagger, a budget pistol, put this budget red dot on it, I think you're going to be really happy. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Share it with anybody that you know that might be looking for a red dot but is worried about paying $400 for one. And let me know down in the comments what you think about this. If you have any experience with this, I would love to know what you think. If you have experience with other budget red dots, there's a lot of cheap ones coming out these days, and they seem to work, at least from the experience that I've had with them so far. So let me know what your experience has been. And from Sawtooth Tactical, stay strapped or get clapped.